All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Danny of the SteelTwins here to bring you Week 4 picks for the 2024 regular season. We got a special guest joining us, a Discord OG. Shout to Alex D from Discord, also known as StayBlack&Gold in the chat. Man, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Like I was saying before, Steelers are 3-0. Can't complain there. Very pleased with what I've seen from them so far this season. Gonna save my overall thoughts for when we get to their game, but been very pleased with them. But yeah, thanks for having me on again.
No problem. It's always great to have you on. You've been an OG for a while, so we greatly appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure to have you on. But yeah, I think we both love the direction the shows are going so far, and they got an interesting matchup. But we'll talk about all that when we get to the game. But first, we got Thursday Night Football. This is an NFC East battle. This is the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants. What's your pick, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys here. The Cowboys are just one of those teams that always have the Giants number, it seems. Coming off two straight losses, and the Giants are actually coming off an impressive performance last week. But I expect the Cowboys sort of get back on track here and get the win. I will say though, if the Cowboys don't start to do a better job in pass protection, that Giants D line could be all over them that game. So it's just something to keep an eye on.
No, I agree. You know, the Giants front seven, the Giants D line is actually pretty underrated, and they really were a big reason why they upset Cleveland last week. But yeah, I gotta go Dallas. I agree with you. They always have the Giants number. Dallas has to get back on the winning column. They gotta get back on the right track before they face us on Sunday night. So yeah, give me Dallas in this one. It just prime time. It's always going to be them to win. Next game we got the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. What's your prediction here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons here. I'm expecting this to be a fun, close game, division matchup. They're both coming off losses, so you know they're both going to be eager for a win here. The Saints offense kind of came back down to reality last week, or at least what we expected them to be. I'm not sure if Kamara is going to play. That's something to monitor, but I expect the Falcons defense to lead them to a win here in a low scoring game.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. You know, a lot of these games are 50-50. This one was one of them because Atlanta they've stayed within the range the last couple weeks, and they honestly could have beat the Chiefs if the refs weren't too biased. But this one, I'm gonna give the edge to New Orleans because I just think they're gonna want to bounce back. I still like the way their offense is. They had a down game, but perhaps they're going to rebound here versus a rival. But I definitely won't sleep on Atlanta because it just seems like they got a lot to fight for. They got a lot to prove. But give me New Orleans in this one. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Chicago Bears. What's your prediction, bro?
Yeah, this was another one of those 50-50 games, but I'm going to go with the Bears here. If the Rams were healthy, I'd certainly be going with them, but I know they got the win last week against the 49ers. I just want to give it one more week before I fully commit to them with all the injuries they have going on. So I'm going to go with the Bears in a close one here. I will say I do think they need to start running the ball more. I thought Caleb Williams looked decent last week. I thought he progressed from the first 2 weeks, but got to start running the ball more. Got to help him out.
Yeah, I agree. They need to get Swift and Johnson involved. It feels like they really tried last week versus statistically one of the worst rushing defenses last week versus the Colts. I don't know if their line is just so bad, but that equation, that scenario they had where they ran it 4 straight times around the goal line and they couldn't succeed. I don't know what's wrong with the Bears. Maybe it's their formation. Maybe it's their play calling. They ran a lot of running plays out of the shotgun. They ran a toss on 4th and goal. They can definitely run the ball, man. They got the playmakers to do it, so I agree there.
Oh,
This one's a toss-up as well, dude, because, yeah, Chicago, I feel like they're starting to really get in the groove. They're starting to get comfortable with Caleb Williams. Granted, he threw it 50-something times last week, but he threw for over 300 yards. Los Angeles Rams are always going to be in it because that's how Sean McVay is. That's exactly how Matt Stafford is. With no targets, man, they upset the 49ers late. With that being said, man, I think the Rams are still going to be within this one. They're always a resilient team against the Bears. I think the Bears defense isn't too stellar, so I think the Rams could have another good one here if they get Kyron involved more, if they get Tutu involved more. I think Stafford will lead the Rams to another victory. Next game, we got an NFC North battle. This should be very interesting. We got the undefeated Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis potentially could be starting again. What's your prediction here?
yeah, this was another toss up for me. I feel like I've been saying that with almost all the games here, but I'm going to go with the Packers here. The Vikings have been very impressive so far, and so have the Packers, especially after losing Jordan Love. I've been very impressed with Malik Willis, and I'm gonna be honest. I was watching that Week 1 game when he came in at the end of the game, and I think it was like he threw it out of bounds, and then he got sacked, and I was just watching, and I'm like, oh, there's no way he's gonna lead them to wins. They're screwed without Jordan Love, but he's been very impressive. He shut me up for sure. Both these teams have been driven by their defenses so far, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I'll roll with the Packers here. Give the Vikings their.
Yeah, I mean, this one, like you said, could go either way because I think the Packers, just much like the Rams, they're very resilient despite all the injuries, despite starting Malik Willis, who they just traded for about a month ago. He's done a solid job, man. They're relying on the legs of Josh Jacobs, and he's living up to the contract. Minnesota, I don't know. Them being 3-0, I'm not incredibly proven by them yet, but I will give them. I mean, they did upset the Niners. They did upset the Texans last week, so perhaps they're on a little bit of a roll here. With Sam Darnold, though, I can't convince myself into thinking Minnesota is legit. I can't see it. So maybe I go Green Bay here, but see, I don't know. I'm probably just going to switch my pick there because I initially had Minnesota here. I don't know. Something about Minnesota doesn't speak to me. It seems like they're one of those teams that starts off hot, but then kind of slows down and goes downhill. We get at least one or two of those every single year. Minnesota kind of fits the T. I just can't convince myself into thinking they're going to be legit with Sam Darnold all year. They have a hot start, but I think Green Bay. I mean, they're a very good team. They're resilient, like I mentioned. So yeah, give me Green Bay in this one. As a matter of fact. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts. How you feel about our Steelers, man?
You already know I'm going Steelers here. I've just been so impressed with the defense. It's been absolutely outstanding. I know we say that every year about them, but there's just something different about them this year. TJ Watt's been unbelievable. I'm excited for Herbig to get his first start this week. Sucks what happened to Highsmith, but he was amazing last week. I think Cam Hayward, he's been great. He's healthy. Ogunjobi's been great. Love the addition of Patrick Queen. I know he got a bit of criticism first 2 weeks. I thought he bounced back last week. And I've been super impressed with the secondary so far. Super pleased with the additions of Elliott and Jackson. Jackson was one of those guys I was kind of iffy on at the start of the season, but I've been super impressed with him. With the offense, man, I've been super satisfied with Arthur Smith. Love the way he's calling plays. I know he also faced criticism the first 2 weeks as well. I know first week everyone was kind of complaining. They didn't use the middle of the field a lot. Then you saw second week they started using it more, and then this past week they use it a ton. So I just love how he's planning games for the defense they're playing based on their strategies and their strengths. What are your thoughts on Broderick Jones?
Do you ask that because of the clip that went kind of viral on Instagram and Broderick responded to it?
No, I don't even think I've seen that.
Yeah, so the clip about Broderick. So Rob made a clip where he took the plays from Broderick that had his penalties versus the Broncos, and he uploaded that on Instagram.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
Broderick seen that and responded. Listen, it was not the only criticism we gave Broderick was specifically the penalties because that's inexcusable. But it was more so defending him again because he's being put in the wrong position and he's gonna have to be a right tackle for a second straight year. Broderick Jones, man, I'm still a massive believer. I still love Broderick. I think he's the franchise future left tackle. It's going to take another year before we get there because unfortunately Fatanu's hurt for the remainder of the regular season. But I thought Broderick had himself a bounce back game, man. He took out Joey Bosa in the first two plays.
Played quite well last week. I know he faced a lot of criticism in the preseason. I don't think he was all healthy. Like, I don't know. The punch wasn't there. I think week 1, week 2 still wasn't really there. Last week we saw it a bit more. I think a lot of it was just mental with him, really.
Yeah, I think some of it's mental, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact he had that massive elbow brace on. Last week versus the Chargers, I think it was the first game all season he didn't wear it. And you could see he had that power back. So that's a big that's a big addition to bring for Broderick Jones, as he's going to have to start the rest of the season on right tackle. But I thought he had a bounce back game. He's only going to get a little more comfortable in that position, especially since now he officially knows where he'll be playing for the remainder of the season, rather than being swapped back and forth all the time. So he can he has some clarity at where he'll play, where he can actually develop properly. But yeah, I thought Broderick looked good. I think the entire offensive line has been a pleasant surprise. I have no issues with the offensive line, man. They've allowed little pressure. They've allowed little sacks. They minimized the penalties. In fact, I don't think they had any penalties last week, if I'm correct. And Zach Frazier's a dog, man. I think you can agree.
Unbelievable.
Dude, what a we got a center, man. It makes me.
I am excited for Sewell to get back in the lineup. That's going to be a great interior offensive line right there.
Oh my God, man! And once Warren gets back healthy, because I don't think Warren will be playing in this game. He might be listed as doubtful or questionable, but I don't know.
No, I think like it's best just to sit him, let him rest for this game. I think Najee can take care of it.
Yeah, Najee can take the workload. We got Patterson, who helped close the game out last week. I think we got a lot of depth. Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of depth in a lot of areas where we can really be a sustainable team, and then we've seen that. Like, Highsmith's out for this game. Herbig's a dog. He had 2 sacks last week. He'll get his first start this week. I think we all have faith in him, man. He's just explosive. Spencer Anderson, Mason McCormick at left guard, they've done a solid job. Once Sam Malo gets back, that's great. Broderick Jones being the depth piece, he can step in anywhere, but he's going to have to start at right tackle. I think we have incredible depth in a lot of areas, which is why specifically the defense has been so strong, man. Like, you look at not just Herbig, but you look at Peyton Wilson, he's a depth piece as well. You look at Corey Trice, he's on IR, unfortunately, but when he stepped in versus the Broncos, he came away with a pick. Like, the depth on this team is a big reason why the Steelers have been able to go 3-0. And one of the biggest depth pieces has been Justin Fields. And at this point, he's not a depth piece. He's a starter, bro. How do you feel about Fields, man?
Man, I don't think you can justify going back to Russell Wilson at this point.
No, I wouldn't.
Like, Steelers are 3-0. They're winning games. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I can't see him going back to Russ. I just can't.
No, until Fields becomes a problem, which I don't see anytime soon. We keep riding with Fields because he's getting better every week. He's getting more comfortable. His throws, his accuracy is getting really good, as a matter of fact. And I like the fact, like, in the Chargers, he started to take some chances towards the middle of the field. He started to thread the ball like needle threaders, man. And some of those throws, the receivers dropped. And that's not going to show up on the stat sheet, unfortunately. But if you watch the game, you see, man, he was throwing some lasers.
Yeah, there was a big drop there, Freiermuth last week.
Mm-hmm. That actually cost the Steelers 3 points towards the end of the first half, man. So it's one of those things, again, that won't pop up on the stat sheet. But if you watch the game, you see Fields, man, he's getting comfortable. And thank God we traded for him, man, seriously. I think that's a big reason why the Steelers win this game. I'm going with the Steelers in this one. The Colts, they had our number last year. I think we all know a reason why. But this is a completely different Steelers team. A lot of better depth. They're a lot healthier. And, man, we have an offense that can stay on the field. And I honestly think, man, I think this is the game where the Steelers offense can break that dam like they've been hinting the last couple weeks. We know what the offense can do. They've done a solid job. So I think this is the chance where they could really make some impact plays down the field and dare I say, score in the red zone a little more often. If there's one thing I'd give a negative to the offense is they need to start finishing drives more. But I think the matchup versus the Colts defense, it's not very good. And seeing how the offense has progressed week by week, the play calling's progressed week by week, it seems like they're starting to find a good comfort zone, and they're trying to really I think this is the game they could really burst onto the scene. So I love the Steelers matchup, man.
One little quick note here. I think the Colts are second right now in big play percentage. So that's just something to keep an eye on. Got to limit those big plays.
Yeah, that's one thing about Anthony Richardson is he has an arm. He makes a lot of mistakes. In fact, I think he's thrown at least one pick every game this season, which is a huge plus for the Steelers defense. But, yeah, I mean, their secondary might be a little tested because, I mean, Alec Pierce is their deep threat. We know what A.D. Mitchell can do. Michael Pittman's underrated. Richardson loves to air the ball out. So yeah, I mean, this could be one of those games where the offense each offense shares those explosive factors. It's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, I think the Steelers get their win back from last year versus the Colts, and they've always had the Colts number in general. So yeah, give me the Steelers in this one. Steelers going 4-0, man. I think that'd be great.
Yep.
Next game.
Just
Wait, go ahead.
looking at all the games like before the bye, they got a pretty good shot at winning all the games or losing one or two.
Yeah, because you look at the next 3 games, I believe is the Colts, Cowboys, then the Raiders, I believe.
Yeah, Cowboys haven't looked very good. Raiders haven't looked good at all.
And then they have the Jets and then the Giants before the bye, all in prime time.
Giants game I'm actually going to. That's going to be my first game, so I'm super excited for that.
Oh, perfect. And good timing to go because that's right before it gets really freezing.
Yep.
And we'll tell you from experience, man, we've only been to one Steelers game in Heinz Field. It was Ben's second to last home game versus the Titans. And I enjoyed every minute of it, but I was freezing my ass off. It was right before Christmas, so you understand why. But that's going to be a great environment, man. So I hope you enjoy that.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Let's see. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the New York Jets. The Broncos pulled off the upset last week, man. Bo Nix kind of settled in. But Aaron Rodgers settled in last week as well on Thursday night. So what's your pick here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets here. They're on a little bit of a roll here. Rodgers is playing smart football. They're playing similar football to the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion, limiting the turnovers, mixing in the run with the pass, letting the defense help them win games. So I think it's going to be a bit too much for a young Bo Nix, and I'm going to roll with the Jets here.
Yeah, I just can't find myself really picking the Broncos yet with confidence. Yeah, the Jets, I agree. They have a very good winning formula right now. They're going to continue to go with it. And they got another favorable matchup against the Broncos. So yeah, give me A-Rod and the Jets in this one. This one, man, is going to be one of the best games of the week. This is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Bucks. This is another toss-up, man. What's your pick?
Yeah, I'm going to Eagles here. You know, the Buccaneers were looking pretty impressive to start the season. They had a rough showing last week against the Broncos. They're pretty banged up right now on the defense, so I'm going to roll with the Eagles here.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me wants to go with Tampa Bay. They start off really hot, but it seems like Philly's really starting to find a nice little groove. And as a matter of fact, they really well could be undefeated if they were just a little more smart, if Nick Sirianni was just a little more smart versus the Falcons on Monday night. If he just did one or two opposite decisions, if he would have kicked the field goal instead of going for it on fourth early in the game, if he just ran the ball instead of trying to do the play fake and throw it to Saquon, or if Saquon just caught that, the Eagles could very well be undefeated. The Eagles are playing good football. This is going to be probably one of those offensive showing matchups here. Yeah, give me Philly. I think it's another game Hurts and Saquon kind of ball out here. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are the only winless team in the AFC North, by the way. They're facing the Andy Dalton Carolina Panthers. Andy Dalton could do the most hilarious thing possible. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going to go Bengals here. I think this is a game they just have to win. You know, no one really expected them to start out 0-3. I'm not complaining, though. But their defense is just a disaster right now, to put it quite simply. I think Dalton gave the Panthers a spark they were looking for last week. Could be a revenge game for him, but nonetheless, this Panthers team is not very good, in my opinion. They just lost Thielen to IR. That's the last thing they needed. So I'm going to go with the Bengals here in a must-win game. I do think the Panthers keep it close, though.
Unbiased. Upset of the week, I'm going the Carolina Panthers. And yes, they did lose Thielen, but I think this means more targets for Xavier Legette, their rookie second rounder, I believe. Deontay had himself a career game. Huge shout to him. Very happy for him. Yeah, you're right. Andy Dalton did give him that spark. And they really blew out the Raiders. I don't see much of a difference between the Raiders and the Bengals defensively. Offensively, yeah, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase had themselves good showings. T. Higgins is back in the swing. They don't really have any ground game to get going. They got Moss, they got Chase Brown, so they don't really have anything reliant there. But the Bengals, man, yeah, they always start slow. I think no one's surprised by that. I don't think any of us thought of them going 0-3, but yeah, I could see them going 0-4. What'd you say?
What are your thoughts on the Bryce Young situation?
The Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. To be real with you, it's no
No.
surprise Andy Dalton gave him a little bit more of a spark. He's a veteran, you know.
Yeah,
He's been in the league.
exactly.
Yeah, he's been in the league a long time. Bryce Young, I
You know,
don't think he had himself a good environment. I don't think he had himself a good core. To be real with you.
yeah, part of me feels for the guy. Like he hasn't really been playing great at all, but he was thrown into a really tough situation. Not a lot of weapons there. I don't love the organization there. Um, I don't know. I just feel for the guy.
So do I. You know, a benching's probably what he needs. I don't think him being benched labels him a complete bust, or I don't think it ends the time for him in Carolina. It's just one of those things, perhaps, that is what a player needs. Sometimes they need bench to just humble himself. Perhaps sitting behind a guy like Andy Dalton could do him some favors. We'll see what his future holds, but yeah, I mean, I don't think Bryce Young was put into a good situation. I mean, it's Carolina. They traded everything for him, and they had nothing to help him out with. So, with that being said, I'm still going Carolina though against the Bengals, man. Seriously, unbiased. I just don't see the Bengals as legit as I thought they were, and I think Carolina has the weapons to keep themselves in it, man. I think
I
they
would
can.
love that. So I hope you're right.
I hope so too, man. I honestly really hope Leggett had himself a great game. The Bengals offense or the Bengals defense is really poor. Outside of Hendrickson and maybe Logan Wilson, that front seven has nothing to offer. They just can't get anything going, bro. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Carolina here, just for the hell of it.
Yep.
Let's see. Next game we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. These are two teams that need rebound wins badly. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the here. The Jaguars just don't look good at all right now. I had much higher expectations for them. Texans didn't really impress me last week either, but I expect CJ Stroud to kind of bounce back, get on track again this week against a not so good Jags team. So give me the Texans here.
Yeah, dude, the Jags just offer nothing offensively. I don't know what's up with Lawrence. I don't know what's up with everyone down there. They can't get anything going. They're facing a Houston defense that's pretty solid, pretty underrated when they're on point. They're at home this time around. It's against a divisional rival. I expect Houston to be on their A game. I expect Stroud to connect with Collins. Maybe Joe Mixon's back in the mix here. Yeah, give me Houston. I think this is for sure a win for them. Next game, we got the Washington Commanders at the Arizona Cardinals. These are two really hot teams right now, man. What's your pick?
I'm gonna go with the Commanders. Close one. I thought Jaden Daniels played outstanding last week. The Cardinals haven't been bad this year. They've been keeping the games pretty close. I expect it to be pretty high scoring, and I expect the Commanders to get the win here and what you could call an upset, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, because a lot of people view Arizona as a little more well-rounded. They view Kyler as obviously the more vet piece, so they're going to lean towards Arizona here, and I think they are the favorite. But yeah, I'm going to go Washington as well, man. Jaden Daniels, I think they got a good one. I think they got a gem in Jaden Daniels. What impressed me the most about him is his accuracy, his composure, and that play where I think it was fourth down, and he looked at the Washington sideline. He looked at Dan Quinn and them. He said, "No, we're gonna go for it," and he got the first down. Like the game's not too much for him. Like he's really starting to get calm in the NFL. He's looking really good, and I think he and them have another good game here. It's like they're really starting to air out. He's really starting to use his arm talent. It's like the first couple of weeks, the first game or so was to ease him in, and now he's starting to find a comfort zone, and he's just going to keep bursting on the scene. Give him a couple of weeks to show some consistency. I think Washington got their guy, man. They got a real one there. Arizona, you're right. They have kept it close, though.
Quick note: shout out to Lewis Riddick because he had Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. Blinked on the name there. And he had CJ Stroud over Bryce Young last year. And I don't want to jump the gun here too quick because I know they're season 1, season 2, but so far he's been pretty good with his predictions.
Yeah, he's been on point. Yeah, shout out to Lewis Riddick. I didn't even know he had Daniels over Williams. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hell of a prediction. That's a hell of a opinion, man. That's aging like wine for him. So good on that. And I think that continues to show. Arizona is another one of those teams I find resilient. They're keeping it close. They got a new environment up in there. They're at home too, but the Commanders are on a 2-game win streak, and I think they're going to keep riding with that. Yeah, give me Commanders. This should be definitely a great game. Next one, we got the New England Patriots at the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if the Patriots still starting Brissett or not, or if it's May, but what's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers here. I expect them to get back on track here after blowing their game last week against the Rams. I think the Patriots are going to do their best to limit the 49ers, but in the end, it's just going to be too much. So I'm going with the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Niners as well. This is my lock of the week. I don't think they win by more than 10, which is their spread, I believe. But, yeah, San Francisco, they get a rebound win here. Another thing about San Francisco that's impressive is their depth as well. We've seen what Jordan Mason's done. Juan Jennings is coming off a career game. Like, good Lord, they paid Brandon Ayuk all that money, and Jennings is getting all his stats. Unbelievable. Yeah, give me San Francisco. At home, they're going to get another good bounce-back victory here as well. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Las Vegas Raiders. These two teams are a hot mess right now, but what's your prediction?
Yeah, we got both teams coming off losses here. I don't think either team is playing particularly well right now. Watson fucking sucks, which I'm glad to see. But I don't think the Raiders are very good at all. I don't think they got it figured out. I do like Antonio Pierce as a coach, but I think they've got some rebuilding to do over there. Should be a close one, but I'm going to go with the Browns here.
Yeah, I don't know. This is another one of them toss-ups because Cleveland just lost to the Giants, bro, and Giants are one of the worst teams in the league. I know it's any given Sunday, but, I mean, that's just very embarrassing. They allowed Danny Dimes to dine them up, bro. And the Malik Nabers had a game. That could actually spell good for Devontae Adams, man. You know, he's not having a good time down there in Vegas, and I'm hoping a certain artist, a certain bald, beautiful bastard could get him out of there, but that's just wishful thinking at this point. Or is it? I don't know. We'll find out. Give me Vegas, man. I'm going clean sweep, man. I say Pittsburgh wins. I say Cincinnati loses, and I say the Browns lose, bro. Give me the Raiders. They need a bounce back win. I don't know about Cleveland, man. They are hot garbage. That defense is rough. Jim Schwartz is showing you why he was available, and you're right. Watson is ass. So yeah, give me the Raiders here at home, man. I think after last week, Pierce is one of those guys where he's gonna instill discipline. He's gonna bring that type of environment into the locker room where these guys are gonna want to step up and kind of prove themselves. Give me Vegas. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. What's your prediction, man?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. The game where we don't know if Herbert's going to play. Even if he does play, I was probably going to go with the Chiefs anyways. They haven't looked perfect this season, but they're finding ways to win games. They're doing just enough to secure their win. So I expect that to continue here this week.
Yeah, I give me the Chiefs. I don't know about the Chargers. Maybe they get on a rebound here. Maybe J.K. gets back on what he did the first 2 weeks before the Steelers were able to limit him. I don't know about Herbert as well. I haven't heard an update, but it's Kansas City. And I hate to sound like Chris Collinsworth here, but it's kind of hard to bet on Kansas City. Yeah, give me the Chiefs. Give me Mahomes and them to kind of go into L.A. and kind of get a decent win here. Maybe the Chargers keep it close because their defense is solid, but yeah, give me Kansas City. And Sunday Night Football, this is definitely one that all of America is going to be watching. This is Buffalo, the Bills at the Ravens. This should be very good, man. What's your prediction?
Yep, this is the game of the week right here. I'm extremely excited to watch this game. Josh Allen and the Bills have just looked outstanding, especially last week. And the Ravens picked it up last week as well after a somewhat shaky start to the season. I think the Ravens are really going to try and control the pace of play here with their run game, limit the Buffalo offense, limit their opportunities. This was one of those toss-ups for me. I do think the Ravens need this win more, and they're playing at home too, which should help. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here, but I don't know. It's a toss-up.
It is. A part of me wants to take the Ravens well because of those reasons. I just see one of those Ravens. I see the Ravens as one of those teams where they're also they need this win, man, really badly. They had a good showing versus Dallas before they almost let them come back in garbage time. But the Bills, they're undefeated. They're one of 5 teams right now that are undefeated. Josh Allen is killing it. He's looking like an early favorite for MVP, and he doesn't even have a legit number one, man. He's He's making little mistakes. He's putting that team on his back. Like, he's really showing out. Now, granted, I will say the last 2 weeks they did beat a hurt Tua Dolphins team, and they did beat the Jags. They're facing a Ravens team in their own house. When the Ravens are on, they're really on. So this is gonna be an interesting showing for Josh Allen to see if he can really limit those mistakes. If he does, I love Buffalo's chances. If he goes back to the Allen mistakes, you gotta think Baltimore comes out with it. So yeah, this is a toss-up, but I'm gonna go Buffalo, man. I think Allen has really Allen has settled himself as a safe quarterback while still taking those chances. He's kind of made himself a smarter quarterback. I think the fact that he doesn't have a receiver that's begging for the ball all the time has allowed that, and he's still got targets he can feed the ball to. And the Ravens' defense is still a little suspect to me. Their secondary is a little rough. They got playmakers for sure, but something about the Ravens' defense, I feel like they've regressed a little bit. But yeah, give me Buffalo on Sunday night. It should be a great one nonetheless, man. It's definitely going to come down to the wire. Monday night, we got another dual Monday night game or Monday night schedule, which I'm personally a fan of. I would like more of that, to be real with you. We got the Tennessee Titans at the Miami Dolphins. I think Skylar Thompson's going to start again. What's your pick here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Titans. I think this is one of those games that everyone can just skip, especially since there's another game right after. Let's go watch the Seahawks-Lions game. Levis hasn't been good at all. He's turning the ball over way too much. I think purely due to the uncertainty at quarterback with the Dolphins, the Titans get the win here.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Like, obviously, if Tua was here, we all know who would win.
Yeah.
Tennessee, I don't think they're good. They haven't won a game. Levis has been an awful quarterback. Miami, they can rely on the ground game, and I think they're facing a defense that is going to let up a little bit. They could use the speed. They could use HN. They could use all the targets that they have to kind of limit Skylar, because Skylar's not a good quarterback. He's a backup for a reason. He was a 7th rounder for a reason, and he didn't really do much against Seattle. This is another tough one, man, because I want to go Miami because the Titans are 0-3, but the Titans really need this. But at the same time, Miami, I feel like they also need a win because clearly, like, they're fighting from behind and they're not in a good situation themselves. So it's a matter of what team wants it more, or what offense will make the first mistake. To be real with you, I kind of see Tennessee being that. So yeah, I'm gonna go Miami at home, man. I think Miami pulls it off. But the game we're all here to look for on Monday night is Seattle at Detroit. This should be great. Seattle's 3-0. Detroit still looking good. What's your pick, man?
Yeah, I think this is a big game for the Seahawks. Like you said, they're 3-0. Granted, the competition hasn't been the best. The Lions have been pretty good on defense. I think their offense is going to get rolling a bit more this week. They've shown in the past they can do a bit more than what they've been doing so far this season. So I'm going to roll with the Lions here in a close one at home.
Agreed. This is definitely going to be a close one, but this is definitely going to be Seattle's biggest test. They haven't faced a team like Detroit or on the level of Detroit all year. Plus, Detroit's at home in Ford Field. Their offense, they can really get things going when they want to. For some reason, they've kind of slimmed back a little bit. They haven't really been as explosive as they should. They've only gotten 20 points last week and 16 points prior. So they haven't really reached that 30-point game like they were getting constantly last year. I don't think they get it this week versus Seattle because Mike McDonald, as a defensive coach, Seattle's remained strong. But I'm going to go Detroit. Seattle could surprise us. Seattle could remain undefeated in their biggest test. They could pull off the quote-unquote upset. But I like Detroit in this, and I feel like Detroit's they're really starting to find a little groove, and once that offense really starts clicking more and they get guys involved, more so Laporta, is he healthy?
I don't believe he's playing this week, but I'm not 100% certain on that.
Yeah, because I know he was carted to the locker room, so that's it's a little upsetting. Otherwise, nonetheless, they still got targets to use. Jameson Williams, when he's on, he can be a great target. Give me Detroit, but this is going to be another great game from Monday night to close out Week 4, man. But let us know you guys' picks down in the comments below. Appreciate Alex D, Stay Black and Gold from Discord for joining us for another year, for another week of the weekly predictions. Always a pleasure to have you on. And anything else you want to say before we get on out of here?
No, man, just appreciate you having me on. Always a good time talking football, Steelers football especially. Go 4-0 this week.
I couldn't agree more, man. It's always a pleasure. And hey, here we go, Steelers at the end of the day, and I would love to go 4-0, man. And I would more so love all the AFC North teams to lose and the Steelers to win, man. The more weeks you rack that up, the better.
Hope you're right.
Otherwise, let us know your guys' picks down below. Shout out to Alex D one more time, and see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later. Peace!